Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Susmini, a true net, and welcome to Aggressors Ancient Rome, which is basically a big, classically grand strategy game, and ooh yes, but let me tell you something about Aggressors Ancient Rome, which is, when you actually move to open it, its little launcher prompts you to open up the game manual. So I did that, and it was a PDF that was 164 pages long. So nobody's got time for that. Fortunately, I can abbreviate that slightly, which is, Civilization 5? Okay, that. Okay, I'm being very unfair there. The game actually has a lot of really interesting ideas of its own. However, if you have played a bit of Civilization, in particular Civilization 5, then you'll probably feel right at flipping home. Right down to the fact that you do indeed begin in the actual custom mode, where everyone starts from scratch building up their first city, so it's a proper level playing field on a randomized map with a single settler and a single basic combat unit. So that immediately looks very, very familiar indeed. But that's also a good time to show off, that this game does do things its own way too. So territory, I like, because territory can actually basically just be grabbed. So right now, this little kind of red border is just where I live, but if I move over to here, that's now my territory until someone else comes and grabs it back. So territory actually gets moved around an awful lot, which is very, very nice indeed. Settlers, meanwhile, aren't just for setting up cities. Settlers basically have also got the workers of Civ 5 and the builders of Civ 6 rolled into them. So they don't just set up cities, they also build roads, build tile improvements, do all sorts of things. They also have the really nice routing function, which I do quite like. So if you just basically want a road to exist between where you're standing and, say, over there, you just basically set up a route and then he'll just quietly get on with that for a few turns. That's very, very nice indeed. Oh, and here's a fun tweak I really like as well. Just about every unit of infantry doesn't actually just fight. They can also do all sorts of other things. So this basic unit isn't just a fighter. If I just move him over here, he can also set up a town. It's a bit more expensive for him to do that. Settlers can set up towns for cheap. But yeah, combat units can, if they want to, cease to exist to set up a colony. Which I think is really cool because it gives you more interesting choices about what you want to do with your military units. Like at some point, is it a better idea to actually just basically retire a unit by turning it into a small town if it's actually starting to fall behind technologically? Ooh, yes. Yes, there's stuff I like here. But let's be honest, you're probably not here for the civilization everybody building up from scratch on the random map. You're probably here for the actual ancient world scenario. And here it is. Now you're probably looking at that and thinking, ooh, Punic Wars. Hang on there, Timmy. It's actually 282 BC when this begins. You're a couple of decades early. In fact, Rome hasn't finished actually securing all of southern Italy yet. The first big conflict that's set up is Rome needs to kick the Greeks out of southern Italy. But yeah, a showdown between Carthage and Rome seems incredibly likely indeed. And you know what's fun during a giant war? It's standing at the sidelines and throwing peanuts at the competitors while watching them wail on each other. So I don't actually want to play as Carthage or Rome, not least as, they're quite big and they start off with a huge number of cities and I've only put a few hours into this game, so I'd probably hopelessly mismanage them. Plus, in games like this, I do like starting small and building up a little bit. So instead, I'm going to be playing as Massilia, up in the north there. Friendly with Rome, but not actually allied with them. Pretty weak starting point, but I love Massilia. It's a really interesting culture. Because people talk a lot about the Roman Empire, but people don't talk about what Greece did instead before that point, which is Athens and Sparta never really had much of an overseas empire for various reasons. Greece did something very interesting instead, which is it had a huge network all around the Mediterranean of colonies. And sure, they weren't centrally controlled, they didn't create an empire or anything, but they spread Hellenic culture and Hellenic language and Hellenic art and everything all around the Mediterranean. They're hugely interesting. In fact, in many cases, they became so rich and prosperous and successful that they became some of the most important settlements in the areas they got set up in. And so it was with Massilia, which is for centuries one of the most important and prosperous settlements in the northwest Mediterranean. And as opposed to just about literally anybody else that Rome ever ended up bordering, Massilia and Rome were actually pretty good friends. Alright, they got on absolutely just fine. Rome just went around slowly stabbing literally everyone else in the world until they ran out of people to stab, then got overstretched and then everyone else started stabbing them back. But Massilia just stayed quietly friendly to Rome and independent and everything was lovely. In fact, Massilia stayed independent long after lots of the territory around it fell into direct Roman control, and who knows how long it would have stayed that way. Unfortunately, its critical error was it actually sided with the wrong Roman faction during the collapse of the Republic Republic and the various civil wars in that period, so it came under direct Roman control at that point. But it stayed independent for a very long time. Really fascinating place, culturally, economically, the role it had in history, I just like it. I just like Massilia. So we're going to be playing as them. And here we go, Massilia. You're actually looking, if you're not actually familiar with the Roman Empire or the old names, at southern modern-day France, by the way. Massilia is the ancient name for modern-day Marseille. We're only just round the corner from Italy, so yeah, there we are. We're very close by to Rome. Now, Rome's doing alright for itself, and you may notice that we do actually have visibility of Rome. As I say, Massilia and Rome we're not allies. We don't even have a defensive pact right now, but you know, we're friends. We're good enough friends that we share map information. And as you can see, Rome, though they haven't actually taken northern Italy and there's still some problems down in the south, they're a lot bigger than us. So they're not going to be interested in an alliance just yet. But ultimately, we're probably going to actually want one. So the game's basically encouraging us to expand into, areas around where we started, together with getting a formal alliance with Rome, building up the actual city walls so Massilia itself is better protected, and building some nice big old warships. So those are kind of my objectives. I won't actually win if I achieve those things. That's just the game giving me some sensible ideas about where I might want to begin. And that friendship with Rome might well be pretty important because while we're a couple of decades early for the Punic Wars and Rome's more interested in Greece right now, unfortunately, Massilia actually starts off at war with a few people. These guys over here, not so important. They're not going to be coming over here to bother me. They're a very, very long way away. But I am at war with Carthage, who are right now the biggest, most terrifying group in the world. So how about we just quickly send them just a quick message just saying, how about we just sign some peace? How about some lovely peace? We don't get an immediate response. We have to wait till next turn. This is all turn-based, by the way. Like Civ, it's all based on turns. Though, of course, it's in a much shorter time frame. Now, let's have a little look-see at our actual empire here. So the way this basically works is I start off with this lovely territory around here. Everything within this territory belongs to me and generates a resource. And there's quite a lot of resources to keep track of, as you can see at the top of the screen there. So we've got gold that basically does everything, coal that keeps your industry going, stone that's used for building, iron that's used mostly for military stuff, food that you need to keep people fed, wood that you need again for construction, science that actually helps you out with technology, because there's a proper tech tree as well, influence that's political, and people are interesting. That's basically the number of people you've got available to become any of your units, whether that's in the form of settlers or armies or anything. So just make sure you don't drain that, otherwise you won't actually be able to train anything else. Meanwhile, everything that's within my borders produces something for me. So over here we've got ourselves a stone quarry, and up here we've got ourselves an iron mine, and over here we've got ourselves a gold mine. You'll also see a couple of fields there. I'm sure you can guess which resources those produce. Meanwhile, if you've got forest within your territory, that also produces a bit of wood. It's all pretty easy to figure out, to be honest. Basically, all those resources at the top come from a relevant resource within your empire, aside from science, which comes from upgrading and making your cities big and prosperous. We also start off with some of the units we've already seen. So we've got a basic settler over there on the left, and then we've got a basic nomad, just kind of like basic Civ warriors over there. And we start off with a slightly more elite warrior as well. 3 on attack, 3 on defense, and also can move 3. So this guy is pretty big and tough, which is very, very nice indeed, because there's a nice standalone nation over here, basically an independent city that we can probably go and do some lovely, nice things to. So how about we just move this guy over here? So you, my good man, just come in this direction, and we'll just come and investigate what this city's actually getting on with. Right now, what can I say about you? Have I just learnt a little bit more about you? No, unfortunately, right now I cannot see how strong it is exactly. We'll have to get a bit closer to figure out just how good Alusa is. But probably that'll be a nice early pick-off for me. Meanwhile, my nomad can just start heading north, so I want to see what's going on over here. And bear in mind, he can just basically walk over the borders in order to just secure more land for me. So let's just have you move there. Now, my settler. Obviously, he can turn himself into a nice, cheap city, but there's some other interesting things he can do as well, which is roads are very, very important indeed. Obviously, cities being connected by roads are fantastic, but on top of that, you want to actually connect your resources to your cities. Any resource doubles its output if there's a road between it and a city. And if I'm adding a Lusa into my empire momentarily anyway, how about we just move you over to here, and next turn we'll actually have you start to build a path that will hopefully come, from this stone quarry, through the gold mine, and over to Massilia. And that will be absolutely flipping perfect. Then we'll get some resource up in a hurry. My boats, meanwhile, not going to do that much right now. So instead, probably, let's just move them in this direction and start using them for a little bit of scouting. So we'll just send them around the corner and see what they've got to see. And just a couple more things to do before we actually wrap up this turn. I'm not currently researching anything, so I should probably get on with that. Research drains your science, which you actually fill up by having prosperous, intelligent cities, and also costs a tiny bit of gold. Here's something I really like, by the way. So I want to research the temple right now, because a temple is a really good building to actually build around your empire. You can choose how long you want to take to finish it. So if you want to, you can have it in just 3 turns, but that's going to drain pretty much all of your science and also a fair bit of gold. Or I could say I'm happy to wait a whole 8 turns, so then it uses a lot less science and barely costs anything at all. Honestly, I'm not actually in a desperate hurry to get this research, so I'm probably happy to wait the full 8 turns, just to actually save myself the science, then we can just save that up for later. Marvellous. And the other thing to do is obviously look in the cities themselves. Right now there's only so much you can do, and by the way, that basically just shows you the effective radius of the city. Anything within that grid is what this city actually controls and feeds into this city. Now, such is a way you actually train things, but you may notice if I try and train something, I can only train warriors here, despite the fact that we've already seen there are 3 types of troops in the Empire: the nomads, the warriors, and the settlers. That's because each city has a specialization, i.e. you can only train one sort of thing. So I can change over the specialization, so this city can pump out boats, peltas, settlers, nomads, and orders warriors. So we haven't actually seen peltas yet, but yeah, they're just basically nomads, but a little bit better. However, changing it over does cost money, so you don't just want to do it at random, you only want to do it if you've actually got a good reason to. Honestly, producing some of my best quality warriors out of my capital does not strike me as a bad idea. Nicaea, meanwhile, actually is set up to produce settlers, so if I want to actually make more settlers, then I can produce those here. Honestly, probably not a bad idea to get a new settler, because remember, settlers aren't just new cities, settlers are also building fields, building roads. Like, you need quite a few settlers floating around, so I've got plenty of money and plenty of population. Let's get one of them in production immediately. And go on, it probably wouldn't hurt to actually have some units floating around just in case. I'll get some warriors trained over at Massilia too. So, that's my turn done. Time to end my turn. Obviously, we'll actually also get to see what Rome is getting on with. And there are all the historical leaders. And Rome probably getting on with its own thing too. Yeah, Rome immediately just jumping down over there. Starting to steal some stuff off King Pyrrhus. Just heading over there, trying to kick the Greeks out of southern Italy. So yeah, pretty much exactly what you'd expect. I assume Rome actually starts off at war with the forces of King Pyrrhus. So, you know, that kind of makes sense. Oh, I assume that's a road that they're starting to build there as well. So they're starting to try and hook their cities together. Obviously, having roads is a very, very good idea in the event that you actually want to move your troops around quickly. And as Rome has much of its infrastructure quite far up north, yeah, having roads running the length of Italy, very, very intelligent indeed. And sadly, Carthage is not currently interested in peace. Now, that's a little bit of a concern. But we've got something else as well. Will you cancel peace with the Antigonids because of a demand from Pergamon? No, honestly, that doesn't involve me in the slightest. I'm just staying out of that one. I'm not taking a side. And meanwhile, we've also actually got ourselves a supply problem because some of my units have moved out of my territory. See, this is why you don't want to go too far without setting up more towns because you can't keep your men supplied. Logistics not being desperately well evolved at this point in history. So as a result of that, keep an eye on your supply limit. Obviously, you're fine there, but when you start getting into yellows and then reds, yeah, you're going to start suffering from some form of attrition, so you're going to want to be slapping down some more towns in order to actually keep your men well supplied. And as for that settler, yeah, I want you, my good man, to build a route between here and Massilia. So he's going to start immediately just building a road. So for the next 5 turns, he's going to build a road around here. Now, technically, this area is never actually going to be hooked up to Massilia. It's too far away. It's within 3 squares that you're allowed to have a city benefiting off a nearby resource. But in all fairness, having a road running straight through my empire, not a bad idea at all. And this guy can just actually head north just for a minute. Just I'm kind of curious what's going to happen next. And as for you, You cannot attack a Lusa this turn, but hopefully you'll be able to do that next. Marvellous. And we've also started trading. Good. We've started trading with Rome, and we're also doing a little bit of trade with Athens. Good. So I'm trading right now with some nice Hellenic settlements and Rome itself. Good. That's very historically accurate. Now just keep my boat moving around here, because this boat can show me what's going on in this part of the world. You see, I'm much happier just getting on with my own thing while Rome immediately jumps into stabby mad mode. I'm happy just watching Rome just basically try and, you know, take over southern Italy and then probably start the First Punic War. So Rome's moving straight into that city and looks like it's taken it and is also doing something up in Ravenna. Now, I think the reason I can't see that is because Rome is giving me visibility of its cities, not of its actual military units. So I can see Roman troops within Roman territory, but I can't actually see what's going on other than that. And Rome has actually started expanding very, very quickly indeed. Bit of a naval skirmish going on there. You can tell from how tattered the actual... Oh, dear. So, that's a really big Carthaginian ship that's definitely bigger than mine. So that's a concern. Right, probably best for you to just get back over here as quickly as possible. Like, really quickly. Luckily, if those guys are bringing troops up to attack us, I do have that extra spare little warrior that I set up. And as for you, my good man, what are we going to do here? So, reliable assessment, this is an uncertain outcome. So we may or may not do okay. Do we know anything about this place? No. We simply do not know how strong it is. But this is my strongest unit, so I'm going to give it a go. So we're just going to go in, we're going to have a poke, and we're going to see how we do. And it looks like we were defeated. So we sent in 7,000 troops, and unfortunately we lost a few of them, but we did gain some unit experience. Okay, not so bad. Terrain convenience. So those guys were on top of a hill. Well, that's absolutely fine. You, my good man, we're just going to get you back to one of our cities. We can heal you up, have another go later. In which case, you haven't found anything desperately interesting looking up there. How about you just head back down over here and actually help out with that business? And we do have this rather convenient new group that we've literally just set up there. So you, my good man, come over in this direction, and as soon as you hit the road, you'll be able to start moving a lot flipping faster. Now, that settler I just built can also get working on building a little bit of road. He can get on with building a road from Nicaea right up to Massilia, and then we will have a nice big road running along the coast of the south of France. It will be absolutely lovely for a chariot drive. Now, Rome, if you by any chance felt like, say, declaring war on Carthage, that'd be marvellous. Like, anytime you're ready, that would be absolutely flipping spot on. Rome starting off with... Oh, there we go. Carthage is... Carthage is also at war with King Pyrrhus. Good. So right now, Rome and Carthage have got a common enemy, which I'm hoping means they'll actually stay... Oh, will you cancel peace with Sparta? Because no, I don't even like you. I'm sorry, I'm friends with Rome. Bye. Oh yeah, Rome doing a lovely job here. They're actually kicking Pyrrhus out of South Italy, no problem at all. They've got plenty of troops, and also they've also managed to secure Ravenna. But Pyrrhus is actually drawn up pretty deep and strong over in Sicily. So that's going to be a bit more of a challenge for them. Gotcha. Now, my new stronger unit can probably get in over here. And now we've actually got ourselves, yeah, here we go, free from doubt. We've got a fair chance of taking over this place. So, give it a go. We've already weakened them. Like 10,000 of their citizens died in the defense of the place last time. And this time, victory! Huzzah! We have defeated that city. Lovely. Meanwhile, the damaged unit that attempted to take the city first, those guys need to just get into Massilia and heal up in a moment. My fleet just hides around here. This guy is just getting on with building a nice road. Everything is fine. Yeah, the roads are all coming together nicely, in fact. Now, I think Alusa should be on its last legs at this point. Move in. We've won one victory against them. Time to finish the job. And this time, yeah, we've actually got those bastards. Lovely. And we also managed to carry off a bunch of loot too. So we immediately get a bit of an influx of some rather convenient gold, coal, stone, wood, all the rest of it. And as a result of that, Alusa has now fallen into our hands. Marvellous. So yeah, we get a bunch of stuff here, and now this nomad here can help me by moving around and just taking a bunch of territory around this whole area. Though at some point I need to be a little bit careful because I don't know what's going on up north. Anything could be up here, so at some point bad things might happen. Now, what's Rome doing down in the south? Right now, just trashing the navy of King Pyrrhus. And yeah, the question now is, who's actually going to get their hands on Sicily? Oh! Hello! Was that a declaration of war between Rome and Carthage? Okay, that's good news as far as I'm concerned. It's a little bit historically early, but you know what? That's fair enough. And yeah, as is probably going to turn out to be the case in the First Punic War, it does rather distinctly look like... Oh, hang on, cancel peace with Macedonia. No, I'm not going to war with any more people. I'm at war with too many people already. But yeah, one of the first things about the actual Punic War is, unfortunately, Rome didn't really know how to fight at sea, and Carthaginians weren't always great at fighting on land. And given the size of boats here, yeah, it kind of feels like that's going to be a thing here as well. So, that damaged unit of warriors, those guys need to heal up. It's going to cost me a little bit of money and a little bit of iron and a few people, because of course we need to actually replace the dead people from somewhere. But that's fine. We'll just let them get on with that. And no, you don't hammer new people into soldiers. That's purely an idiomatic thing, but whatever, we'll go with it. Alright, nomads, you guys, head north, figure out what's going on. You warriors, meanwhile, probably time for you to actually, return back home and see what's going on around here. And you can see here, oh yeah, they can move a lot further the moment they hit the road. It's very, very nice indeed. So, we've got ourselves one city, we've taken off someone else. Next step, probably, is to build our own city. Now, I've got myself 2 settlers right now. One of them should probably come down over here and see what's going on. However, now that actually, presumably, Carthage is a little bit on the distracted side, how about I just actually send my navy to go and have a little scout? No sign of any particularly interesting resources yet, but we'll see. There's got to be something around this part of the world. Ah, yes, and Alusa also needs some money invested in it because I may have slightly damaged it while I was invading. So how much is that going to cost? Ouch! Quite a lot, but we'll get on with it. Right now, my resources are running very, very low indeed. Very low, but with these roads I've built, hopefully, this should actually start ticking up pretty quickly. So we should start seeing, in particular, in a moment, gold should start going up faster than it was by quite a long way, just because of the road between the gold mine and Massilia. Now, Rome, tell me about your attempts to actually take out Carthage at sea, because, yeah, I thought that wasn't going to work out for you. Oh dear. And tell me about your second attempt to do the same. Oh, that didn't work out either. Right, marvellous. So the First Punic War does indeed involve the Romans having their arse handed to them on the waves. So this is all absolutely spot on. And Carthage, meanwhile, look like they're doing an excellent job slowly wearing down the Greeks in Sicily. Yeah, with luck, the actual Carthaginians will do an excellent job there. Wait, hang on, why am I saying with luck? I mean, okay, I like seeing Romans being destroyed by Carthage at sea because it's kind of historically accurate, but, you know, I'm actually friends with the Romans, and also the Carthaginians have a lot of big boats. A lot of big, scary boats. Oh dear, I think the entire Roman navy might be dead. And speaking of Epirus, apparently, they would like some peace right now. Honestly, I didn't realise we were at war, so that's perfectly reasonable. And thanks to the visibility that I got as part of that treaty, I can now see what's going on in Greece. And the answer is a bit of an absolute total mess, because King Pyrrhus has decided to declare war on everybody simultaneously. Marvellous. Also, one thing I really like about this game, when you actually select a settler, I'm the man. They just randomly declare, I'm the man! Which is quite frankly just a sad thing for you to yell. It's okay guys, you don't need to be insecure, I believe you. So, small problem that we've got right now. We've got ourselves a great big mine up north, a lovely iron mine. Unfortunately, it's not actually in range of any cities right now, and that probably means we want to sort that out sooner rather than later. And for that reason, I'm going to deploy one of my settlers north, building a road en route, though actually, How long is that going to take you? That's going to take you 3 turns, actually, because you're allowed to build roads on diagonals, which is very welcome. Let's just build that up there, and then once you're done, you can actually build a city up north just to guard our northern frontier. So we've got some good mountains floating around here, and this all looks like, yeah, basically wilderness and forest. I'm not too worried about that. Plus, there's a nice defensive river here. But the north right now is a bit of a mystery. I'd like a town up here in a good defensive position that we can actually reinforce all of the defences of. That would be very, very useful indeed. I believe I've got another settler here as well. Yes, I do. You guys head in this direction if you'd be so kind. And actually, while we're just exploring, you head up here and look, you can make it all the way over there in a single turn. It's lovely. Right. You get on with that, and then next turn, I'm just going to ask you to finish off the actual road between here and Alusa. Shouldn't take you a couple of turns to actually do that, and then we'll actually have a link by road between this here stone quarry and Alusa, and then we can get the stone in, and then we can build things more quickly. Lovely. I say, let Rome take care of the flipping Carthaginians, alright? I'm just going to focus on building my own little empire up, and hopefully not cause any trouble with anybody. Speaking of which, yeah, Rome continues to just move its foot soldiers about, and all quiet for the time being. Obviously, Epirus is at war with someone else, because why wouldn't they be, quite frankly? Oh, and that is Athens being poked by the Antigonids as well, so there's a lot of trouble in Greece right now. Oh, yeah. A lot of flipping trouble. But some people have also thrown down forts. Those are just basically temporary structures you throw up in order to provide a defensive boost to anything standing in them. Useful for clogging up choke points, obviously. And I have actually got new technology in the form of a temple. Marvellous. And peace with Carthage. Yeah, absolutely. I will accept peace with... Oh, do I want to accept peace with Carthage? Like, if I'm at war with Carthage, Rome might... You know what? Just for the time being, I'm okay with that. I'm actually fine with that. And will you cancel peace with Epirus because these guys demanded it? No! No, this is the first time we've ever spoken. Don't just yell at me. Oh, bloody hell. What do you want now? The Iberia tribes. Ooh. You know what? City visibility, tile visibility. Yeah, and a map exchange. I'll take some information off you. Fine. So some guys who live close by to me, who apparently I was actually at war with, they apparently want some peace, and they're willing to give me a bunch of information about where they live. Intriguing. So, what can we learn from any of this? What we can learn is, yeah, there might be a tiny bit of land up for grabs around here, but there's not much in it, aside from just a bit of good quality farming. For the most part, you're not sitting on anything good, are you? Well, there is some good stuff around here, but you're already squatting on it. Now, there is, however, a coal mine over there. Coal is not exactly top of my list of things that I need. Probably best we just move you further and further north, try and figure out what's going on. You, my good man, we know what we want to do with you. Build a route to... Okay, why would you do it that way? Why? Why would you do it like that? Just go direct. Just go... Okay, fine. You know what? You can build it however you want, alright? I'll give you some nice freedom to do it however you bloody well choose. Let's just make sure there's nothing else here. You come through here. Aha! Right, so... Until you've got visibility, you can't actually see the resources. So that is a nice iron mine. And iron mines represent an excellent opportunity to actually train troops. Iron's what you need for the training and repairing of troops. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that. Right. This is going to put me dangerously close to some of the Spanish nomadic tribes, but screw it. We probably need to give that a go. Right. Pick up my warriors. As I've just actually declared peace with Carthage, I'm not actually at war with anyone up north right now. And I've got this lovely road right here. So deploy my warriors in a hurry down over here. I've now got 2 strong warrior units standing right here. What is that unit right there? That is... That's just a settler. Okay. Now the unfortunate thing is, there might be a settler, because he's planning to do exactly that. He's already expanding in this direction. Let's just have my boat move around here. Get a bit more visibility about what's going on in the world. Now, as for that temple I just set up, temples are rather cool, and he's actually built one here. Basically, that's the sort of building I myself can build. So this symbol up here was greyed out until now, because that's actually the first building I manually choose to build out in the world. And temples do something rather fun, which is they accelerate population growth in cities that are within a 3-tile range from the temple. So potentially, slapping down a temple, say, right about here, if that's allowed, might be of interest. That could be of interest indeed. But I'm a little bit low on the old gold right now. A little bit low indeed, because I'm certainly gaining gold faster than I was. That's certainly true thanks to those roads, but it's still going to take a little bit of time for me to build my reserves back up. And the only other technology I've got available to me for the moment is a stable, but I do not actually have the science to figure out how stapling a horse works, so tragically, not available just yet. And speaking of those Spanish territories, they're... okay, it's just a mine, but okay, fine, invade it if you want. Yeah, I suspect that's exactly what you're doing right now, isn't it? You're about to try and take that territory I just had my eye on, you stupid Spanish bastards. And that unfortunately might just mean that me and those Spanish tribes are about to end up in a war that apparently I started out in that I didn't actually realise I was at war with. Possibly we weren't at war. Maybe that was just a friendly, oh hello, we've only just met, so let's swap information about each other treaty. Yes, that strikes me as likely, sure. Meanwhile, Carthage doing a lovely job just slowly chopping its way through everything here. Yeah, the cities of Sicily look pretty much unguarded, so now it's just a question of who gets them first. Oh, and hello! My scout I was just sending way up here has discovered gold. Well. Well. That is much more interesting than iron, I would say. So, okay. My good ma'am, I think we need to get up there potentially. We need to get up there in a hurry. This guy's already done his action for the turn, by the way, because, yeah, unlike in some other games, if you've actually got an action queued up, they actually do it at the beginning of their turn. So, thing I'm noticing here, I'm really lacking in gold and it's coming in slowly, but I'm sitting on a ton of coal. Coal I'm not really using right now because I'm not actually advanced enough to be using it. Rome, however, is super advanced and probably has some blacksmiths and whatever floating around. So, that probably means it's an excellent chance for me to do a tiny little bit of trading. So let's just have a chat with my good friends, the Romans. So select my coal and let's say I'm willing to basically offer 30 of that. Now I could try and demand, say, gold back, but instead I'm just going to basically, I'm just going to make a free offer. I'm going to make a free offer to Rome and say, look, I'm sitting on 30 coal, I'm not using it, I've got more coming in, what are you willing to actually offer me for that coal? Because me and Rome are friends, and this is going to make us more friends, because this is, quite generous. I'm basically just saying, ship whatever you want back in return, because I need anything more than I need coal right now, so Rome will like me for that. Now, time for what I want here. Get over here, and no, what are you doing? Okay, well, do that if you want, I suppose. And then you get over here if you can. And there we go. We have managed to officially expand our borders to where I actually wanted. And that's going to hopefully block him from doing anything too stupid. Now, the problem is now I want this guy to come over here and build next to this gold mine. And I want this guy to actually build up here so I can see what the bloody hell's going on up here. And that means, potentially, I need another actual settler. How much does settlers actually cost, by the way? 10 gold. Right, I need to potentially make a sacrifice here. What do I not want if I want to try and secure this? Well, this is... that's an iron mine. Okay, and what are we actually building up to up here?
I'm the man.
Yes, you are. Don't worry, no one was actually questioning that. Ah, this is an iron mine up here as well. So, okay, you know what? I'm willing to not rush down here. I don't want that much trouble with Spain that quickly. And I can get iron up here just as easy. And this city can actually be linked up to this one. Nice and simple too. Okay, that's probably for the best then. Let's not worry about this territory down here too much. If need be, I can just use my actual warriors to try and block in this guy. Now, Spain. What do you actually have in mind right now? So far, nothing. And is that a Dacian tribe I just saw mentioned there? Yep. It would appear the barbarians are coming in from the north, and you guys are a little bit of a long way from home. Meanwhile, yes, Rome is literally at war with everybody. Wars in which they are losing an awful lot of stuff, which feels very historically accurate, actually. That's all 100% fine. And I tell you what, we're actually in the 1060s right now, so fair enough, Rome, start attacking Carthage with my blessing. We're close enough to when the Punic Wars were. Looks like over in Greece, the Athenians are making some good progress pushing north right there. Oh, what the hell? Right. Well, either Rome is feeling very generous, or they're desperate for coal, or they're catastrophically stupid. Because they are willing to pay for 30 coal, 20 gold, and some food, and some stone, and some iron, and they're also sending over some people, i.e. slaves, and also some, like, political influence because they're so happy, and some flipping science in a conical flask. Yeah, 100 flipping percent, I'm up for this. We've also immediately got ourselves, 5.5 gold as a windfall, because we've actually just moved straight into this gold mine, and we've actually secured it. We can't actually, mine it on an ongoing basis yet, but we're working on that. Alright, we're working on that. And yeah, don't actually get all that money immediately from Rome. That is just a slow trade deal over time. So over the course of the next few years, we'll just see our coal ticking down and everything else ticking up. And quite frankly, I am very happy with the deal those guys have just made me. Now, we also have, yes, a road now going north. So at this point, this lovely little settler here, he can move around. Oh, look at that. He can move all the way down here. This is nice. However, keep going north because, well, I say I wouldn't mind a city in this part of the world, but then again, I'm not seeing much reason to actually expand now I actually look at it. And by the way, can you get over? Yeah, I think nomads have the ability to cross rivers where warriors actually don't. The question is, do I want you to, where do I want you to go exactly? I probably want you to move back over to, just move over to here. Just help scout out this part of the world, and this guy can head north as soon as he's done with the actual road, which will help increase how much we're getting out of the stone quarry. Alright, this is looking alright. I'm happy with how Massilia is shaping up. And you, my good warrior man, you just stand right on that there iron ore deposit and basically just guard it to make sure the Spanish don't steal it. Marvellous. And as for you, cancel your move. Instead, let's just have you move as quick as you like up in this direction just to actually guard this area. Spot on. And my fleet can just keep on moving south and just keep on scouting out new territories. Nice. Ah, but I also have enough money now to actually build, if I wanted to, a temple. Now, is that spot... Yeah, that spot's acceptable. Now, temples, what they do is they boost population growth to anything within 3 squares. So this would boost the population growth of... that would actually boost the population growth of Massilia together with Nicaea, because it actually shows you. So if I kind of put it, say, here, actually, here would boost Alusa and Massilia. And in theory, might... Oh, 1, 2... Wait, what is that? Sorry, do diagonals count? Diagonals count? I don't know if diagonals count. That's of interest. Because that feels like that shouldn't actually be in range. But okay, if I go to here and then here, that's still... Wait, hang on, I can't verify like that. Okay, if I'm to here, then to here, then to here... No, that's not allowed, because I haven't bridged that river, unfortunately. Right, how do I test this? Yes, diagonals must be allowed, because even at this spot right here, Alusa is still affected. So in which case, possibly, a position somewhere like about here might be useful, because then it would hit a spot all the way up there. Okay, we potentially got something here. I'm not going to actually spend that money just yet. I want to see where I want to lay down a city up here. So I definitely want a city up here just to catch that there iron mine, because iron is important for troops, but need to figure out where I want to lay the temple, so it actually has overlap with 3 cities and provides a growth bonus to all of them. You know, I'm actually feeling a little bit nervous about Nicaea as well, because Nicaea is, well, I've no bloody clue what's going on just over to the east of it. So one thing I can do with those guys is spend a tiny bit of money on increasing the actual defense. That is something I can do right now. And nothing I can do is actually boost the value of trade. So, if I actually... Why can't I do that? Ah, I literally don't have enough stone. That city's a lot bigger, so it costs a lot more to upgrade. But you know what? As it's so cheap to do, Nicaea, you can have a very small defense increase just because I'm a little bit nervous about anything showing up from this area we've no idea what's going on in. Alright, Rome, how are your many stupid wars going right now? Dacians might have just been poking you. No sign of anything major there. Continuing to ship basic crappy boats around, but honestly, the Carthaginians are just going to completely trash them. In fact, actually, what happened with the Carthaginians and Sicily? Because I think I saw them at one point making some good progress over there. Would be interesting to know whether they're actually doing... Oh, don't know. I'll have to check on that in a second. And this is interesting. The Romans are making a demand of me. The Romans would like me to actually cancel my peace with Spain because, well, they just say so. Because obviously Rome figured there wasn't enough war going on right now. You know what? Go for it. Yeah, I think that's actually perfectly reasonable. I will say yes. So we are now at war with the actual Iberians. Great. And would I like peace with the Celtic tribes? Well, as they're apparently very close by to me, but I've not run into them yet, yes, that strikes me as eminently reasonable. And how about me and you also swap, say, city and tile visibility and map item info? That'd be good. I'm going to offer them that, see if they go for that. Oh, and I think Rome actually just delivered all of that gold. Oh, yeah. Oh, flipping yes. And because things have just got serious, yeah, well, one, I can't see what's going on with those cities anymore. But two, a whole bunch of state decisions just opened up. This is basically emergency stuff that I can do if things start getting bad. So I can positively affect production, but negatively affects happiness and resource usage, or yeah, military intelligence, visibility and influence, but increases the usage of gold because you need to pay for the spy network, some games to keep people happy, but yeah, unfortunately does actually take up other resources too, etc, etc, etc. All of these are basically, yeah, good thing, but also bad thing. So, this guy I need to actually move north to secure the gold mines in France. How much time is it going to take you to move up there? It's going to take you about 3 turns, 3 or 4 to move up there. Now, if I were to actually just build a route up there, that would only take you 4 turns. So, quite frankly, you may as well build a road while you're going, because the going is so slow regardless. Yeah, do it. Marvellous. Let's actually get some roads built. Ah, and I think I know why the Celts have just been in touch with me. I can see right flipping there, yeah, green borders. Right, so they consider that part of their territory, do they? I see. Well, you know what? Screw it. This is probably good enough right here. And yeah, you can see here, because this is a settler, and thus he's kind of, you know, his job is to build towns, he can build a town for only 10 wood, 1 gold, and 1 stone. And I'm going to actually do that, and rather nicely you get to actually name the towns. It's not quite in the right spot, but, you know, it's pretty close to be Lugdunum. So right now that town is tiny and, you know, can't really defend itself very well. So I should probably, yeah, deploy my nomad in that direction. Wait. Okay, so, you know I've had a nomad buy this gold mine this whole time. So, do you remember what kind of units can actually build towns? Because, one of them, in fact, is a nomad. He could have built the town. I kind of forgot that they could do that. Fine. Well, you know what? This is okay, because we're actually building a road up there anyway, so this is all 100% fine. Admittedly, it'll probably be a bit more expensive, but thanks to trading away all of that nice coal with Rome, should be absolutely okay. Now, next big question. Is it entirely possible that this guy can basically just go and take that settler and make him part of my faction? Or does it not work that way? And in addition, general's advice, absolute supremacy. Oh yeah, absolutely reliable. Right, deploy my warriors to attack that there settler. So we should absolutely trash this guy. Or is he just killed? And, okay, we just killed 10,000 people to a man. Great. How's this place doing? This place is... we don't know exactly. So, unfortunately, we just have no idea. But yeah, these towns don't just get, like, you know, archers like in Civ. At least, I hope they don't. I might be about to learn that they do. Anyway, my other warrior, I'm actually going to deploy up here towards Lugdunum. Just to keep an eye on the little town, given there are Celts around there, you know, somewhere. And in addition, now I can verify this. Yes, this spot right here is perfect for a temple. That will boost the growth rate of 3 separate cities. So that will be fine. Build that there, spot on. And that just seems to get built pretty much almost immediately. I think it might take like a turn or 2 or something. It should be done very, very soon indeed. No immediate counterattack from the Spanish, but I'm guessing they're not going to take what I've just done completely lying down. And Rome is expanding in this direction too. And quite frankly, that's not really the worst thing in the world. Me and Rome are friends. So if they just want to, you know, come up to my borders, that's more or less okay. Rome just keeps trading boats and just keep getting destroyed by the Carthaginians. It's so First Punic War-y, it's beautiful. Yeah, here we go. In come the Carthaginians to basically do that again. And there goes another Roman fleet. And rather conveniently, the moment you do actually hit enough science and money and whatever to research the next big bit of technology, the game does actually flag it to you. So, how much would this cost me? Honestly, well, most of my science, but not much gold. So that's... oh. Right. What has gone on here? Massilia cannot deliver the agreed resources. Oh. Okay. We might have some problems. Why was I not able to deliver the agreed resources? Ah, I'm gonna guess it's because the trade route comes, yeah, right by where the actual Carthaginians have their boats. If the Carthaginians park their boat on the trade route, we can't trade. Luckily, I seem to have been paid most of this in advance, so this isn't really a bad deal for me. Now, next big question. How much is it going to cost me to set up a town with, actually, not so bad, nomads, still pretty cheap, because they're, you know, a cheap basic unit. And, ooh, what do we want this town to be called? We went for historical accuracy for one. I think this next one being Jontium is perfectly acceptable. Oh, wait, hang on, no, better. Constantinople! Marvellous. Now, we are technically at war with Spain right now. Probably a good idea to actually invest ourselves a little bit of money in an additional set of warriors. We can afford that in terms of people, in terms of iron, in terms of gold. Yeah, fine. And bear in mind, there is actually, yeah, ongoing upkeep in terms of gold and wheat, but that seems to be under control for the minute. And time to also deploy my fleet back towards Massilia itself. I might be able to pick up that guy and get him over to the front line faster. I definitely want 2 warriors present before I attempt to take that city. I learnt my lesson from Alusa. Oh yeah, Carthage has already taken Messina and looks like it's in the process of taking Syracuse too. So Sicily right now is a Carthaginian island. Now, with Constantinople set up, we should actually have ourselves... yeah, we're getting 1.2 gold off that gold mine. This gold mine down here, however, is producing 1.9 because of the road links. I thought it was double, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's also a function of how close it is. We could still do with a road link to boost this, but gold is now coming in faster. And gold, well, gold pretty much makes everything run more smoothly. So, that works for me. What else do we need, however? This guy, this settler here, can basically just come up here, build a road over to Lutenum, build a road down to here, and then we'll have a lovely loop of road. But then again, we could probably do with another... yeah, we probably could do with another settler around here. So, what can we do? Build a settler. That's 10 gold and, ooh, bit expensive. We have the people for it. It's fine. Get on with that. And yeah, confirmation there. Syracuse has fallen to the Carthaginians. So at this point, there is a very tense standoff between Rome and Sicily. Sicily totally in Carthaginian hands. Rome, however, are fortified right up to the edge of the southern tip of Italy. They are not willing to let that one go. But every time the fleets come in, yeah, their fleets are just being torn apart by the Carthaginian fleets. The Romans can't win at sea, the Carthaginians can't win decisively on land. So well done, game, you managed to actually accurately recreate the First Punic War. So just checking in with Rome right now. So the envoys from the Roman Republic during discussions is admiring. So right now, these guys, they like us. They like us a lot. So we might want to potentially, yeah, alter the treaty. How about, as a starting point, lads, me and you decide to actually do a proper defensive pact. Alright, not an actual proper brothers in arms alliance or anything, but I'm going to put a defensive pact to them. See if they're like that. Now, I'm not sure if that will immediately pull me into war with Carthage, but if it does, all I lose is one boat. It's not the worst thing in the world. No, sadly, they rejected it. Not interested just yet, but... And, oh, will you cancel peace with... No, I'm not sure why I'd do what Carthage say, to be honest. I'm not really interested in, like, following orders from Carthage. Alright, new group of experienced warriors, and they can get all the way down here straight away, which is marvellously good news. You guys just... Well, I'll tell you what, as you guys are actually up there, just have a little poke around, see what you can find. See if you can find anything interesting nearby for us. And thanks to the Romans, we finally have full visibility of... Oh. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Right. We might have just picked up a new priority right there. There's a gold mine right there. And it's technically in range of both me and Stalia. So both me and Rome could very easily decide that we have a rightful claim to that. Okay, well I've got myself a settler coming in momentarily. I think Rome might be rushing it though. Right, that'd be a real shame if I actually miss out on a gold mine. Darn it, I should have just explored around the corner earlier. Ah, but due respect to the Romans over at Ravenna, they've got a big shipyard and they're finally starting to produce their own big ships of a similar class to, yeah, the actual flipping Carthaginians. And oh, hello. So the Romans have come back with their own counteroffer. Best as I can tell, they just basically want to increase visibility between us. So, okay, that's nice. Ooh, Carthage meanwhile want to do the same thing. I'll tell you what, let's just quickly play both sides against off each other, because that lets me see, yeah, the entire Carthaginian Empire, which is, quite large. Quite large indeed. They're probably, like, you know, quite wealthy and all that. Ah, but better and better. Rome appears to be going north. Okay, get over here. Wait, are settlers allowed to stake out territory? Oh, maybe they're not. Settlers might not be allowed to stake out territory. That could be a concern. Right, in that case, we need... I need a new military unit in a flippin' hurry. Even though, arguably, I'm fielding too many units simultaneously right now anyway. Screw it. Get another warrior out on the field. I'm running a bit low on people right now. That's about half what it was when I started. So, I'm burning through my available population quickly. But... if I can use that guy to lock down this here gold mine for Nicaea, that will be absolutely beautiful. Oh, and I think the Spanish just realised what's going on. They've brought reinforcements back to their capital, which is unfortunate. That is a shame. That's going to make that much harder to take. Oh, hang on. Was that a flipping Carthaginian invasion of the Italian mainland? Because I think it was. Meanwhile, King Pyrrhus would like to actually offer me 1 gold for 1 citizen. Right, he's asking me to actually sell my own people. Well, possibly I'm selling my own slaves to him. Let's just assume I'm selling him slaves. I do kind of need the money. Yeah, I'm going to accept that. Okay, if I was to attack at this point, equal chance, reliable assessment. Move in. I'm going to deploy my guys. I think I'm deploying better quality guys against his crappy guys. We should be able to defeat. Alright, I lost 392. He lost 400. Oh dear. Right, so 10,000 in the Iberian tribes, is it? Yes. Okay, give it another go. Move a little bit closer here, please. Alright, let's see if we get a counterattack off the Spanish at this point. No, they've stepped out of the city. That's interesting. That logically would have been the best place for you to stay. And... wait, what? Did you just... okay, I think they're just moving in to take that. Yeah, they've just moved in. They've taken the gold mine. Right, we've lost that gold mine. Darn it. And here we go. That is Carthaginians actually on the mainland. But just weak troops. Nothing major yet. But the Carthaginians are actually planning to invade Italy. Unfortunately, it's probably not a good idea. Though they can get troops ashore, once they're in Italy, there's a lot of Roman infantry around there. Okay, down in Spain. Now that this guy has actually left the safety of the city, we hopefully should be able to... yeah, this is equal chances, but I feel like I feel like it's a bit better than that. Getting over there, I feel like my troops are superior, quite frankly. So get in there and... another flipping defeat, unfortunately. But it's a pretty minor skirmish, all things considered. Getting over there, this is also equal chances. We're just kind of chipping away at their capital right now. How did that go? That was apparently yet another defeat. We killed 5,000 of them, but unfortunately there's 144,000 more where that came from. Also, hang the flip on here. Apparently the settler standing on the gold mine right now does belong to the Roman Republic. Guys, would you mind returning him? Because he was actually mine. Like, he was actually being left there to mark that those gold mines belonged to me, but screw you, I guess. Right, in that case, we need to divert all troops south towards the Spanish capital. Alright, Rome has got this area locked down, and me and Rome are fine with each other. I've not seen any sign of trouble with the Celts whatsoever. Lugdunum, you just basically focus on your own defense. Yeah, boost your own defense, build some, like, walls or whatever, it'll be fine. And that means that these troops can start coming down south as quick as they flipping like. So, cancel his current moves. Instead, you, in just 3-4 turns, you can be down over here. So you just start heading in that direction, that'll be beautiful. And you help this guy get round faster if he can. Though, honestly, he's probably going to be okay. Load to, can you load him to there? Yeah, you can load him to there right now. Brilliant. Right, get him moving. Let's get him there faster. And in come the Spanish coming for an attack on me. It feels like they're actually winning. Alright, I thought those were basic warriors to my, like, you know, kind of tier 2 units. But actually, they seem to be doing a pretty decent job, all things considered. Oh, the Celts want to offer me visibility. Yeah, I'll take that. I'd like to see what's going on up there. Meanwhile, yeah, Ptolemy and Sparta are actually now BFFs. That's fine. So, what's going on up here? Ah. Okay. There is, yeah, a few Celtic towns up there. Honestly, okay, I should keep one unit up here just to make sure nothing stupid happens. And you're ready to actually, yeah, you're ready to get moving. So you, I would actually like you to potentially, yeah, build a route straight over to, okay, build a route over to here first. Let's actually just link up this place, please. So just get on with that for a second. And then these troops are starting to take bad damage now. Yes. Really bad damage. Experience, morale, oh dear, you guys are looking wounded to me. Yeah, at this point, that's now looking uncertain. I might want to pull back a little bit. Okay, any chance, can you get over here? Can you unload that guy? If you could just do that, please. Unload all units over to here. Right, that's a new full unit. Has he still got his... No. He does not have his movement points anymore. You seem to be in pretty good shape, however. You head over here. This guy probably needs to start heading back for friendly territory, though he might be able to still help a little bit. Okay. Maybe pull... Oh, it's a bit too late to pull you back. Okay, get the boats round here. Be ready to pick that guy up, take him back to Massilia for nice fast healing. I'm pretty much out of gold right now. That is a concern. Okay, the Celts are falling back to their own... Wait, do you guys have Lugdunum too? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise you were going to set up Lugdunum. Oh, this is embarrassing. One of our towns is going to have to go home and change. Oh, this is nice, though. The Celts have just sent me a gift. Oh, thanks, guys. That's really appreciated. Okay. That might admittedly just be to lull me into a false sense of security. Like, I'm not just going to go and abandon Lugdunum, like, the original and the best. Oh, this is embarrassing. We've both built Lugdunum right bloody next to each other because both of us were trying to build it in historically the right spot. That's just unfortunate. Though, actually, where exactly is the unit that was here? Where's that gone? Uncertain outcome. We'll keep going. Alright, if we just keep hitting this place with an axe for long enough... Okay, that's a draw. That's good. That's good. Wait, up to 182,000? Where did you get all those extra people from? I swear you didn't have those a minute ago. And once again, an uncertain outcome. Right, give him a bit more of a whack. And how did you do? You got yourselves defeated. Right, you guys are looking dodgy. Looking very dodgy indeed. I might need to tech up slightly or come back with a lot more strength down the line. I think these guys need to... Actually, these guys can... That's going to take a good 2 turns to get to. Right, you, move over here. The ships can get you back where you need to be. I could afford one more set of warriors, but it's going to pretty much clear me out of money. Screw it, give it a go. No, don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah, the automatic selection of the next unit so you accidentally misclick. That happens a lot and it's mildly annoying. Will you cancel peace with Carthage because Rome asked you to? No. Sorry, but that's a bit of a steep ask actually. That's quite the steep ask. Right, got that road built between Constantinople and the gold mine. That's good. Now, next up, build a road that leads over to Lugdunum, if you'd be so kind. And you can be loaded up onto that boat. And the boat can just basically drop you off, well, close by to Massilia at least. Well, for the time being at least, I'm just going to keep going in here. We're taking some knocks, but I should have... Oh, dear. That looked like a bloody banner right there. Yeah, I'm killing a few people, but they've got more people to lose than me. Right, one more attack in, then it's time for you guys to fall back and heal yourselves up. Though actually, look what you did. You might have lost, but you did okay there, all things considered. Yeah, you killed 7,000 people. Well done. You see, I'd really like to bring this guy down to help out, but I'm really nervous by the number of Gauls up north here. That is worrying me. Though actually, it looks like Rome is actually bordering the same very long, thin Gaelic territory up in the north. If we're lucky, that'll pull the troops over to deal with Rome. Okay, here's interesting. Rome is offering me just a little bit of food, which I am shy of because I've got so many troops on the field right now, and they've left it as an open offer. I can give whatever I want in return. I'm going to go for coal. How about just shipping you 1 coal for 1 food? Now, these troops here, meanwhile, it's time for you guys to back off. Alright, you did a good job there, but it's time for you to actually, let the next lads come in and have a go. Right, meanwhile, unload the damaged unit right over here. And these guys, they need to... Sadly, they're not allowed to heal up the same turn as they're unloaded. That is a shame. Right, you get back over here. We might need to help carry a few more units. This unit could probably do with a lift as well. In fact, you know what? We probably shouldn't push forward anymore right now. Maybe send this guy over here just to actually guard the actual iron mine that's not actually producing anything for us, because it's not actually close enough to a city. But, at the bare minimum, keep an eye on them while my other troops heal up. Oh, speaking of Rome, they're now coming to me for that defense pact. And I am going to accept. Beautiful. Fun fact about the Spanish people. They're at war with pretty much everyone, actually. They're just dicks to anyone who shows up, which is probably why they haven't actually shown up in force to deal with me attacking their cities. Because they're probably being attacked from the south by Carthage as well. And the nice thing is, the defensive pact with Rome barely even hurts me, because the defensive pact only kicks in if Rome gets attacked. Now, Rome never gets attacked, because Rome always attacks everyone before they have a chance to attack Rome. You know, I was just starting to think maybe I should make peace with the Iberians, but now they've asked me for peace. Which logically makes me think I'm onto a good thing by not being at peace. No, screw you guys. Okay, now this is probably a terrible idea. But the Gauls have been very nice to me, alright? We're trading with each other, we've got on just fine. They recently sent me a new peace treaty and said, hey, let's be best friends forever. So as a result of that, I'm actually going to redeploy this soldier down to the front line. Alright, I'm going to make one big, massive push with probably 4 or 5 units of warriors on the Spanish capital. Alright, this is going to be made to work. And if nothing else, I am very, very happy indeed that we have this beautiful, beautiful, massive ring road just being finished off right now, linking together all of these settlements. Alright, that That is just beautiful. And apparently, Constantinople technically falls within the effect of this temple too, because yeah, that must be literally just on the edge, 3 diagonal moves. So yeah, there we go. I'm pretty happy with all of that. Even if we lose this war and never actually win any war whatsoever, I built a really pleasing, nice road system. And in the end, that's what matters. Oh, flip. Carthage just actually offered me a defense pact as well. Am I allowed to be in defense pact simultaneously with Rome and with Carthage? I mean, I'd like to say yes. The problem is I can't say yes. Because Rome is like literally next door with all of the infantry in the world, alright? I can't risk trouble with Rome. And also, as my population and number of cities slowly sneaks up, I should remember to, you know, occasionally build some fields. That would probably be a good idea as well. Okay, I've got 4 units close by to the front line, and a 5th just actually doing some healing over at Massilia. It's probably time to begin surrounding this area. Let's see what they got here. Because so far, it doesn't seem so bad. Let's actually just get over here. Yeah, okay, we're in good shape right now. You guys just start getting around over here, alright? Surround this city. Do not let them get away. Oh, flip, Carthage has declared war on us. You know what, maybe I should have taken that defense pact with them. Also, I quite like if you zoom out here, you can actually use the terrain that's actually pictured on this map, just in case, you know, you're not that familiar with Europe, to actually, you know, see roughly why modern-day Italy is broadly the shape it is. It's because there's a lot of cocking great mountains that sort of, you know, force it to be that shape. Here we go. Spain are coming in. So they are most definitely counter-attacking, and I think they've just absolutely handed our arse to us already. Okay. We may not be able to do this, but hopefully I've got enough troops to beat those guys and then crack into the city. Alright, first things first. Clear out their actual armies. So I've got a fair chance, according to this. Oh, we've done a lot of damage to each other. Right, bit of a draw, but we just did... yeah, we did a lot of casualties to them, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. You guys getting over here. Now it should be absolute supremacy, because we've already weakened them. And what happened to... Excuse me, what happened to absolute supremacy? There was a mention of absolute supremacy a second ago. Absolute supremacy free from doubt. Well, we'll see how that works out on this occasion. Okay, seems to have worked out better today. Lovely. And the final set of reinforcements are ready to move in as well. They can just basically go via land. I'm building some extra road down here as well. This is basically just a reinforcement road. So I can get my troops from the front line back to Massilia to actually be healed up faster. Now I do actually have the opportunity to go in right now with one of my units that's actually at decent strength. So I would say, why not? Let's just give them a poke. We can just start wearing them down. So, oh, blimey, you just took a lot of damage. They're up to... Oh, blimey. Where are all these people coming from? Because it was not that high a second ago. Having declared war on me, Carthage immediately asked for peace. I say yes. And all that brief war cost me was my entire fleet, actually, because they're all dead now. Right, you seem pretty badly damaged, actually. Pretty damn damaged, yeah. How about you just, head back home. You just head back home. We'll just have rolling reinforcements coming in. It's going to be great. Okay. 3 pretty decent strength units right here. Short odds, reliable assessment. Just get in there and do some damage. Okay, we took a bit of damage. It was a defeat, but we didn't exactly lose that much. Well, you know, we're slowly just, you know, slowly doing some damage to them here. Slowly doing some damage. Can you get over here and actually hit these guys right now? Uncertain outcome, free from doubt. Oh, you are going to get knackered. You're already badly wounded. Right, you've also been defeated. We need to crush the Spanish. Get in there. Uncertain, free from... Okay, you can't be free from doubt when the outcome is uncertain. Okay? That's not how any of that works. You were just badly wounded as well. And the population of this town just seems to keep going up. Yes! Okay, so one thing we could do is say, actually, I don't want this city. If we could just save a bit of face. Yeah, if we just save some face, that would be fine. As long as we have a victory, that's probably fine. I mean, screw this taking their capital business. Look at this absolutely beautiful, beautiful temple right here that we could take. Would that not be the greatest... Oh, the greatest victory of all. We have taken this temple. And with that gone, what can they really hope to do? Although then again, rather weirdly, this unit that just showed up apparently has absolute supremacy and that's reliable. Are you absolutely 100% sure about that? What did you do there? You killed 10,000 people. That's certainly like a good starting point. I'll give you that much. Ah, I've just uncovered a new mechanic it would have been lovely to know about earlier. So, the reason we just did a bit better there is because we've actually taken over all of the territory around the city. So as a result, morale's collapsing. Okay, that's probably what I should have been doing all along. Yes. So now just keep poking at them and oh. So, that didn't go quite as well as I was hoping for. To be honest, that went kind of badly. Well, keep on surrounding them and also just check the supply situation. Right, we've got supplies in all of these spots. Just basically, yeah, keep them surrounded. That's just a guy who's like, you know, bringing in some roads for us. That's bloody useful. New reinforcements coming in soon. I'll tell you what, though, that's actually a mechanic I quite like. Sieging actually needs to be done by literally, you know, walking all around the city and actually physically having the surrounding land under your control within your borders. That's nice. That's organic. I approve of all of that. And while they are slowly starving to death and my new road means my troops can actually get there and back nice and fast, we also have the advantage of, yep, never-ending reinforcements coming in. They're starving to death. Everything's looking good. Here we go. No reinforcements from Spain. Their morale is currently at 50%. Alright, dropping all the flipping time. And I've also got myself more troops coming in. Absolute supremacy, reliable assessment. I've heard this before, but I will give it a go. Just go and, you know, give him a quick poke there. That was a victory. Alright, we killed, yeah, 9,000 of them for only 800 of ours. That's good. Now, has that also knocked down morale? Morale is, no, still at 50%. They don't care about the massacre. They're fine with that. And, yeah, more troops have just got back to town. Heal them. Admittedly, my entire economy is just right now being squandered constantly healing up guys from the front line. But it's got to be worth it because soon we will have this stupid city. Also, I've just realised these guys actually have some special interesting abilities, which is, yeah, they can actually do a little bit of healing. They can heal themselves a tiny bit. Now, it does admittedly cause them to lose some defence, but as long as the actual Spanish don't come in and attack them this next turn, it'll be fine. And also, here's a surprise, the Celts haven't actually backstabbed me to go and attack Lugdunum Superior. So that's nice too. Oh, flip. We have captured the capital city. They surrendered overnight. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, yes. And that just got me a giant pile of coal and wood and gold and iron and a bit of science and a tiny bit of food. Wait, how did they hand over food? We were literally just told they were starving to death. Oh. Oh, yes. My empire. My empire. It is beautiful now. It is a thing of glorious, glorious beauty. Screw you, Spain. And with that influx of money, I can finally actually set up a looser over here to also potentially... Oh, but before I actually set them up to also train troops so I can start double pumping troops, I do also need to potentially do some... Yeah. Okay, invest some repairs. There we go. I've actually, you know, invested in those guys to get back on their feet quicker. Change specialization. Peltasts. Haven't seen those guys so far, but, okay, especially useful on even terrain. Well, warriors haven't exactly been doing the job so far. Give these guys a go. And with that, I can actually start double pumping. Peltas over here, warriors over here. I can actually get a decent army going on. And Oscar is already almost surrounded, because now I actually understand that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, and now Spain is begging for peace. No, you don't get peace, you stupid bastards. I get Oscar instead. Right, you move over here. And that should be Oscar totally surrounded and morale is already starting to collapse. Fine, now I see how it all fits together. Now I see. And this place should be... Yeah, this place should be weak anyway, because this is a small town next to their capital. So now we should just be able to head in there. Admittedly, we were just defeated, but oh, the population here is a lot smaller. A lot flipping smaller. Right, just send in the troops. You promised me absolute supremacy free from doubt. So, oh wow. Okay, you were not kidding, gotcha. And Oscar falls into our hands too. And with that, yes, Massilia has the beginnings of a rather beautiful little Spanish empire here. And let's just put that into colour overlay mode. So, at this point, yeah, look at that. That's a decent-sized little empire here. In fact, I'm probably in a pretty good position to just start wrapping up all of Spain pretty darn quickly. Just wipe them out, and then we can just mop up this territory around here. I'm sure I saw some mines around over here as well. Yeah, there's a coal mine there. Ooh, gold mine. Yeah, wrap up Spain. And then we'll probably be in a position to actually start, you know, contributing to the Roman cause, joining in with the Punic Wars more than the actual historical Massilia ever really actually did. Because, well, they were never quite this much of a significant expansionist power. I've slightly rewritten history. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think you get the point. This here is Aggressors Ancient Rome, and okay, there are parts of it that are scruffy and parts of the UI that could do with some work, and the tutorials could do with a bit of work as well. There's a bunch of stuff that could do with a bit of improving, but for a small little game, it's got big, bold ideas, and mostly it comes off pretty well. If you're a big fan of Civilization and just want an interesting little twist on that variant, this might well be for you. It's an interesting little one. I don't think it's going to change the world, but yeah, it's a nice little experiment. I think they've done a good job here. And for a little indie game, what more can you really hope for? So, we'll leave things off here, and yeah, I'm impressed, and hopefully we will see things of this nature and of this quality. In fact, again in future, I do live in hope. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd, and this has been the really rather impressive Aggressors Ancient Rome. Thank you very much, and goodbye. You know, I really hope we've agreed open borders with Japan, by the way, otherwise they have basically just invaded. I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep. And my cities, of course, have got even more flipping high-tech, though mysteriously still completely dependent on, you know, an aqueduct. Now, I'm not saying your entire army is mostly already dead, but it kind of actually is.